Hello YouTube. Um, this time it's going to be a little bit different than usual. I'm actually going to be talking about an entire anime slash manga instead of just focusing on a singular character. And today I'll be covering Prison School. The anime came out pretty recently. I mean, it's only been about close to a year now. Ended this summer, if I'm not mistaken. Probably season 2 will come out at some point as well. I think there's an OVA scheduled for this summer, but I could be wrong. Anyways, Prison School, like, the whole sort of setup is, usual, like, all-girls school. There's probably like 6 guys allowed for this year to come in. But unlike usual, there's a very strict sort of anti-male attitude at the school, thanks to the President Mari and her lackeys, if you will. Overall, the girls are very hostile. Like, they've been sort of conditioned to have a very negative attitude towards males. Besides Mari, who actually has it out of her own experiences and stuff like that. Now, there's obviously exceptions, like Chiho, for example. She's like pretty much a very sweet girl, probably the most normal person in this anime. She's kind of supposed to be that beacon of light in this sea of man-hating. There's other standout characters too, like Hana, for example. She's kind of crazy, but there's something interesting about her, something that draws you in. Now, focusing on the male characters, Kiyoshi, Gakuto, and Andre are like the 3 that stand out the most to me. Also, Joe's pretty funny too. Like, this anime is one of the only ones that I've seen that genuinely makes me laugh, that I genuinely crack up at, because it's just like there's so many funny things. Like, Andre and his masochism is just really funny. But there's some things that make me like cringe a bit, like the torture sort of that the guys go through, or they get beat into a pulp, especially Gakuto. It's kind of hard to watch a bit. Not that like I can't watch it because I'm just like horrified or anything like that. It's just one of those things where you're just like, ugh, But besides that, the show is very funny. Like, I think you have to have a specific type of humor sense to enjoy it, really. I think there's definitely potential. I actually caught up with the manga in about like a day, because I just kept reading it after I finished the anime. I picked it up from the point that I finished the anime, and then I started reading it more as the chapters came out and stuff like that. And it's really good. Currently, it's not the chapters aren't out, like the new chapter is not out yet, but hopefully the guy will write some more, because I really quite enjoy it a lot. Now, let me talk about the central sort of thing that caught my attention about this anime, and that's the nature of the character of Mari. Now, Mari, she's very strict, very controlling. She has a specific way of doing things, and she doesn't want these boys to come in and sort of corrupt this holy sort of gathering of women, if you will. Now, Hana and the vice president, the one with the huge boobs, I always forget her name. They share her attitude on this to varying degrees. But it's more out of just a pure loyalty to her, sort of like henchmen or henchwomen. They really don't have their own mindset when it comes to this stuff. And this is seen how Hana doesn't seem to despise Kiyoshi, obviously. She forces herself on him at first, and then, her whole obsession with peeing on him, and, that whole shit that they did in the manga as well. I mean, Kyoshi seems to be conflicted of her. Like, I don't know if he likes her or he's just terrified of her or a bit of both. But it definitely seems like a pretty toxic relationship from his point of view. The only girl that's kind of the one that's normal would be Chiyo, and I think that would be the best, normal relationship you could hope for. But Hana's also pretty good too. Maybe even man-hating Mari. Now, Mari, her father is like this huge pervert. Like, he has like an obsession with asses and stuff like that. And like every opportunity she's talking to him or whatever, she'll just find something like that, like something like him, like, I don't know, like watching porn or like having something like that, or like pictures of asses and stuff like that around, and then she'll just be like, oh, I knew it, all men are scum, and she'll just walk off and treat the boys like shit. Obviously this implies that, all her ill feelings about men stem from the fact that she's disappointed in her father. And you could see as a kid, in the manga, there's a couple of things, there's, her backstory is revealed to a certain degree, and you could see that she really admired her father and, really liked him a lot. And he was also like, he's a good guy, he's not a bad guy, he's just perverted. Like, besides that, he's just a solid dude, but she can't get over that, it seems that. And then that automatically clouds her judgment on all guys as like they're tools and like these dirty perverts that shouldn't be anywhere near women and stuff like that. And this isn't far from reality, to be honest. This is how a lot of people view men. It's sad, it's pathetic actually, that we've come to this point. But I like that the anime is tackling that, and it tackles that. This whole man-hating culture is not far from reality. Now, what do I personally think about Mari? I think that she's interesting. There's a scene in the manga where her and Kiyoshi are caught like in some bathroom or something, and by that girl Kate, and they're told that they've been bitten by some venom or some shit like that, venomous snakes, or at least that's what they're told, and then they have to like suck the venom out of each other, and it's pretty sexual. Kiyoshi is definitely the one from the group that is just hounded with these experiences. Over and over again you see him, whether it's Hana, whether it's Mari. Chiyo not so much, but those two specifically, Mari and Hana, there's a lot of things that happen with them. I am looking forward to season 2 from the anime, because I want to see these scenes animated, and I think they'll be very interesting with the whole Kate and her new establishment that she brings, and her whole like obsession with Mari / possible romantic related feelings that she has towards her, or admiration, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of scenes from the manga that I can't wait to see animated. Besides that, Prison School, it's funny. Gakuto is definitely a standout character. The embodiment of male bond, in my opinion. Exactly like the type of guy that me as a guy would want to be friends with this type of guy. Really loyal. He's really loyal, and that's really the most important thing you could seek in relationships, is loyalty and understanding, and he seems to have a boatload of that. The whole dynamic between him and Kiyoshi, they sort of bounce off each other really well. I would have to say that out of all the friendships depicted, I think theirs would be the strongest, and the one that is the most interesting. The character of Andre having this huge masochist fetish is very, very something that hasn't been tackled very much in anime, masochism or any of that type of taboo stuff, and I really thought it was hilarious the way his character played off that, and vice president, oh please punish me, all that shit. Like that was funny as hell. But then there's in the manga there's a scene that's hilarious where this girl, I forget her name, because I'm really bad with names unless I remember. Like I'm just bad with names, and so forgive me that I can't remember. But there's a character with short hair. She's part of like Kate's crew, and she wants to be she's pretty much his new queen, like, or his new dom, whatever. And she's pretty much she's like dragging him across the road and like torturing him and stuff like that, and he's like, a true queen would never do this, a true queen would never do that, and he's and he's critiquing her and then she just runs off and she's like, y'all do better, whatever. And it was this hilarious. The most recent chapter, there's a scene where they're facing off in some giant like battle or whatever, and the president like they don't know what to do because they don't know how to get through the crowds of people, because the vice president, like the girl with the big tits, like she's kind of has like this memory loss problem now, and she can't be like her regular self, so she's not really like in a good mood or whatever, in a good state of mind. And the president asks Kyoshi to show off his manhood or whatever. Pretty much, she has like a raging boner because he grabbed her tits a couple minutes ago or whatever, because of some other reason. And she's like, oh, show it off, because there's like all the girls are there, so they've never seen a guy for a regular amount of time in the first place, and they certainly haven't seen a boner. So he's just walking around with this boner, and all these girls are like scattering like flies, and you're just like, oh shit, oh my god, ew, that's disgusting, whatever, blah blah blah. And then like these group of girls come up, and they're like, oh, they're just so used to it. Like, and enough of that. I remember Mari's like, oh, we shouldn't have any sluts. I don't know where they came from, and I was just like laughing my ass off. It's so funny. That was a good scene. Also, that's another one that I can't wait to get animated. But one final thing that I would like to discuss is this whole. I mean, I'm fine with it really, because I feel like nothing should really be censored. I mean, everything should be allowed to be. If for an anime, for art, that is. I think if you're making a story, you shouldn't have any restrictions based on any sort of morals that you would have in real life. I think when you're doing art, it's not about you, it's about the story. You have to be able to transform into the story and really clear yourself of any ideas or anything that would stop you from writing something, just because it's not acceptable. But it is sort of interesting in a kind of a weirdly sad way that this anime includes a lot of violence against guys, like by women, and it's like they're getting their asses beat down, and it's not like some little thing. It's really quite brutal, right? And it's funny, whatever. I mean, it's funny because it's comedic. It's comedic, thanks to the situation and all that. But it does raise the question that would this really be okay if it was reversed, right? And most likely it really wouldn't. And I understand it's Japanese humor, whatever, people will say that. But I mean, there is a double standard, and it is quite massive. And animes like Prison School reinforce that. Now, Prison School, it doesn't advocate this. It just sort of showcases it, and this is more of like a sort of analysis of like the reaction I've seen from people who've watched the show or read the manga, not necessarily the creator or what the show depicts itself, because I feel that the show is more of is more like criticizing this instead of advocating it. There was another anime this season, something about like pretty much like a giant PC culture, where you're not allowed to say anything dirty or anything like that. and if you do, like, you're punished or whatever. There's a scene where this guy gets raped by this girl that he used to like. Now, it's not really handled in a way where it's serious, but it doesn't really change the fact that he was raped by her. And, you know, the general attitude is that he should be proud and he should be happy that a girl would even a girl that hot would even consider him, you know, and she would do that. I think that the sort of misconception that a lot of people have is that any guy out there is automatically willing and would be just delighted to be like jumped by some hot girl and like forced into some sexual play or whatever. But unfortunately, these things are not just in anime. This is more of a society thing, of something that is forced upon a lot of dudes out there. And you know, I do hope that guys could have some more self-control, self-respect, and stop prioritizing female attention over their own lives and over other sort of human interaction. Now, you know, that's kind of a bit off topic, but I guess it could relate in a small way to Hana and the way her and Kiyoshi are, their relationship, sorry, and the way that she's kind of forced herself on him at first, and then, you know, all that stuff happens. But I feel like the relationship is relatively chaotic, but at the same time, there is something genuine there that could be explored, and I actually like all three of his potential love interests. You know, Mari, I don't like her that much to be with him, because the way she constantly degrades him is kind of off-putting, but she does have genuine moments where she's cool and stuff like that, and I do feel her and Kiyoshi do match in a way. Chiho, they don't really have that much of a connection, if you will, the same way like that him and Hana do over like they haven't had that much experience together, but there's still, I think, something that could work out. And also, I also like Hana. He's probably my second favorite character in the show behind Gakuto, and then third will be Kiyoshi, and fourth probably Andre. Fifth would probably be either Mari or Joe, even though I like Joe a lot. And Mari, I'm just starting to like her now because I'm getting over her bitchiness. Yeah. Well, anyways, to sort of end this off, the manga, you know, it's really great. Just saying, if you haven't read it, you know, you should definitely go into it. It's really well done. Also, the anime, the second season's coming out at some point. At least I hope so. I do think that it's gonna be great, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. Thank you for watching. Sorry I didn't go really that in depth in Prison School, but Prison School is not really that type of anime or manga that I could really go into some huge analysis, because it's more of a comedy, and comedies are a lot tougher to really you know, dive into with this type of thinking. There's definitely deep themes in the show, in the manga, whatever. They might not be that apparent or that intended, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know what the author was intending, but it definitely says a lot. It's a message. It's a loud message. It's a message that's definitely heard by me. I really like it. I really like what the author is doing. The sort of crude and over the topness of it. It could get to you sometimes, but overall the product is solid. So definitely, I would definitely rate Prison School pretty high. Out of a 10, I'd probably give it about an 8.2 overall. And I can't wait to read more chapters. So thank you very much for watching. There'll be more coming soon, so look forward to that and have a nice day.